Don't kill me, rancher. I'll serve you any way you want. The Apache woman's plea that changed a ruthless man forever. The sun was sinking behind the red hills when the rancher pulled his horse to a halt. Dust hung heavy in the air. The desert was quiet, too quiet. That was when he saw her. She stood near the dry creek bed, barefoot, clothes torn, long black hair tangled with sand and blood. Her hands were raised, trembling, her dark eyes locked onto the rifle resting across his saddle. "Please," she whispered, her voice breaking. "Don't kill me, rancher. I'll serve you myself, any way you want." The rancher stiffened. Men like him didn't hear pleas often, and when they did, they rarely listened. A man feared across the territory. Ethan Cole was known across 3 counties as a hard man with a harder heart. His ranch stretched wider than most towns. His name carried weight and fear. Rustlers avoided his land. Outlaws cursed him. Even sheriffs tread carefully around him. 3 years earlier, Apache raiders had attacked his homestead. They burned his barn. They slaughtered his cattle. They killed his wife. Since that night, Ethan Cole had sworn one thing: no Apache would ever receive mercy from him again. And now one stood before him, alone, broken, begging. The Apache woman. Her name was Naya. She was not a warrior, not a raider, not a killer. She was a healer. Her people had been wiped out weeks earlier by soldiers who didn't bother asking questions. She escaped by hiding among the rocks, watching her family fall one by one. Now she wandered the desert with nothing but hunger and fear. When she saw the rancher, she knew the stories. She knew his hatred, and she knew she had only one chance to live. A trigger pulled, then stopped. Ethan dismounted slowly, his boots crunching against the dry earth. "Why shouldn't I kill you?" he asked coldly. Naya swallowed hard. "Because I am not your enemy." He laughed bitterly. "All Apaches say that." She stepped closer, her legs shaking. "I will work, clean, cook, heal. I will be nothing if only you let me breathe." Ethan raised the rifle. His finger tightened on the trigger. Then he noticed something. Her hands. They were covered in dried blood, not from battle, but from tending wounds. Her wrists were scarred from ropes. Her body bore the marks of someone who had been running, hiding, surviving. This was no raider, and for the first time in years, his hand shook. An unexpected decision. "Get on the horse," Ethan said. Her eyes widened. "You will not kill me?" "Don't make me regret it," he snapped. She climbed onto the horse behind him, careful not to touch him. As they rode toward the ranch, Ethan told himself this was temporary. She would work, she would earn her keep, and when she was gone, so would the memories. He was wrong. Life on the ranch. Naya worked from dawn till nightfall. She cooked meals without complaint. She cleaned the house he hadn't entered since his wife died. She spoke little, kept her head low, and never asked for kindness. But Ethan noticed things. The way she whispered prayers over injured animals, the way his horses calmed under her touch, the way she sang softly while working, songs filled with sorrow, not hatred. One night, Ethan collapsed from fever. A wound he'd ignored had turned infected. He drifted in and out of consciousness, expecting death. Instead, he woke to cool hands on his forehead. Naya sat beside him, grinding herbs, tears in her eyes. "You could have let me die," he muttered. She shook her head. "Life is sacred, even to those who hate us." The past comes knocking. Word spread fast. An Apache woman living on Cole's ranch. Outlaws saw opportunity. One night, gunfire shattered the silence. A gang rode in, laughing, drunk, violent. "Hand over the woman," their leader sneered. "We'll take payment in flesh." Ethan didn't hesitate. He stood between them and Naya, shotgun raised. "She's under my protection, and that means something." The fight was brutal. When it ended, bodies lay in the dust. Naya kneeled next to Ethan, pressing her hands against his bleeding side. "Why?" she asked softly. "You owed me nothing." Ethan looked at her, breathing hard. "I was wrong, and I've been wrong for a long time." A rancher changed. Winter came early that year. Snow covered the land. The house that once felt like a grave began to feel alive again. Ethan started laughing, quietly at first. Naya began to smile. They spoke of pain, of loss, of the lies passed down through hate. Ethan learned the truth about the raid that killed his wife. It wasn't Naya's people. It was outlaws disguised as Apache warriors. The truth crushed him. Redemption. One morning, Ethan handed Naya a deed. Land, horses, freedom. "You don't belong to me. You never did." Tears filled her eyes. "I choose to stay. Not as a servant, not as a prisoner, but as a woman who survived and taught a broken man how to live again." Sometimes the greatest mercy isn't sparing a life. It's letting go of hate before it destroys your own. Subscribe for more videos. Like, share, comment.